So in this video, we're going to talk about how to simplify rational exponents. So a rational exponent is an exponent that is a fraction. You can rewrite a rational exponent as a radical using this property. So if you have x to the m over n, that means you can turn it into the nth root of x to the m. Notice that the numerator becomes the power and the denominator becomes the index. You can also rewrite this as the nth root of x raised to the m power because that's just doing the exponents in a different order. So when m equals 1, this property can also be written as x to the 1 over n equals the nth root of x. So when we're working on simplifying, we're also going to be using this power of a power property a lot. Remember, if a power is raised to another power, you multiply the exponents together. So if you have a to the m to the n, that equals a to the m times n. So x to the 6 to the 1/3, you're going to multiply 6 times 1/3, which is going to give you x squared. So let's rewrite this as a rational exponent. So what's going to happen here is that power is going to become my numerator and my index is going to become the denominator. So when I rewrite this, this is going to become x to the 3 over 5. Now let's go the other direction, rewrite this in radical form. It's important to remember that if there's no parentheses around it, that 9 is just the coefficient. So we're just going to write the 9 on its own and the power only applies to the x. So that means that we're going to rewrite this as the fifth root of x to the seventh, and then that 9 doesn't get raised to the power because the power only applies to the variable. Let's try simplifying this. So here you can see we have a power raised to another power. So we're going to do 12 times 1/3. Well, remember, that's just multiplying fractions, right? So we can reduce this. So this will become 1 and this will become 4. So when we multiply this, we're going to get 4 over 1, which is equal to just 4. So this is all going to reduce to x to the fourth. So let's now simplify the fifth root of 486, x to the fourth, y to the ninth. So when we separate this out, this is going to become the fifth root of 486, and then the fifth root of x to the fourth, and then the fifth root of y to the ninth. So the fifth root of 486, we can separate that, and that's going to become the fifth root of 243 times the fifth root of 2. So the fifth root of 243 is going to be 3, so this is 3 times the fifth root of 2. So the fifth root of x to the fourth, we can't do anything with that because that 4 is less than 5, so we're just going to leave that as the fifth root of x to the fourth. The fifth root of y to the ninth, you can think about it the way we used to, or if you want to, you can rewrite it as a rational exponent. So this is going to become y to the 9 over 5. And when you're working with rational exponents, you know you need to reduce it if you have an improper fraction. So you know that 9 over 5, well, that's going to turn into 1 and 4 over 5, right? So you can use that to help you simplify because that means this is going to turn into y times y to the 4 over 5. Okay, so rational exponents are just another way to think about simplifying these if you want to do it that way. So this is going to become basically y times the fifth root of y to the fourth. So now, just like before, we're going to combine everything that's on the outside. So we have 3, and then we have y. And then under the fifth root symbol, we have this 2, and we have our x to the fourth, and we have our y to the fourth. So this is now our fully simplified answer. So let's now try simplifying the fourth root of 49x to the 12th, y to the 8th. So we can rewrite this as 49 to the 1/4 times x to the 12 over 4 times y to the 8 over 4. So 49 to the 1/4, well, it's not a power of 4 that we can factor out, but if you think about it, 49 is a perfect square. So we can actually rewrite this as 49 to the 1/2 raised to the 1/2 power. Because remember, the power of a power property tells us that we multiply these exponents, and 1/2 times 1/2 is equal to 1/4. Well, 49 to the 1/2 is basically just the square root of 49. The square root of 49 is 7, so we can turn this into 7 to the 1/2 power, which is just basically the square root of 7. If we have x to the 12 over 4, well, 12 over 4 reduces to just 3, so this is x cubed. 8 over 4, well, that's just going to reduce to 2, so we have y squared. So our final answer is now going to be x cubed y squared times the square root of 7.